What's up in the world? I better remove this image. Hang on. Hang on. I was just trolling for some clickbait, yeah. Watching around on YouTube, seeing what all the furries have to say about cryptocurrency. So I thought, let's play that game. And of course, all of them are shilling links. Like, they're like, oh, the best time right now is to margin trade, to leverage after people have lost all their money. They might never invest in crypto again. They're like encouraging you to go short or long because Bitcoin's gonna go to $1 million, you know, 100K next. On the next leg up, we just gotta pick the bottom, get your trades in, you know, shield this link, be all good. Meanwhile, recession is basically here. We know what's coming. Signals from the monetary policy, the Fed, they've said they're gonna raise rates, and everything that goes along with the economic policy is coming. There may be issues with employment, there may be issues with loans, there may be issues with assets. If you bought near the top, and if you're lucky enough to have, changing topic, if you're lucky enough to have capital in reserve, dry powder, now might be a good time to dollar cost average into whatever you want to dollar cost average into, whether that be real estate, businesses. I don't know, just make sure you don't go into the business of selling DVDs or something like that, you know. But yeah, as we keep talking, the T-share machine keeps on printing because people within cryptocurrency space, it's been said before, they're going to be struggling to look for yield. And what cryptocurrency provides yield in a market like this that has room, provision, let's call it, for mad gains, for mad growth. I mean, it might not happen, but should Hex go up any more from where it is now, and you take out, say, a $10,000 USD value, that is, stake of, say, a year, you can run the figures on that, and that's not looking too bad. I did have an order in which I was going to cover things, but I've gone my impromptu way, and you will have to bear with me. So we have here, it actually changed, that was weird. That's close to, you know, close enough to 10,000 US dollars price prediction, so no increase at all. Possible for decrease. Before we look at this, let's have a look. Now this is concerning. This should concern the world because Britain orders extradition of Assange to the United States. It's very concerning. I don't know why he hasn't been pardoned. That's a whole other story. I don't think good things are going to happen to Julian Assange. Well, it says there, 175 years in prison. That's pretty reasonable for a journalist in a free world. Yeah, wonderful. Chilling message. Julian did nothing wrong, she said. He has committed no crime and is not a criminal. He is a journalist and a publisher, and he is being punished for doing his job. I've got nothing more to say on that. But I think in this point in time, when people have been crushed by crypto, when they've been crushed by the equity markets, they've been crushed in their daily lives. They've been crushed in their ability to earn income freely. There might have been some people, no job, no job. The list goes on and on. There might have been people who got affected by this. You know, whole industries were shut down. Supply lines are stuffed. We're teetering on some bullshit war that we don't need. The only people that need this are the people that are in charge. The people in charge who want to create a war. because they need their power. But both sides need someone else to fight, don't they? Lo and behold, China emerges. And they've got their latest high-tech aircraft carrier. Again, the war economy, filling that gap with economic spending, increasing their GDP by making big-ass weaponry like this. Where is it? Trying to catch up with the US Type 003 carrier. So that's what Type 003 carrier looks like. What it actually is capable of, I guess we'll find out. And at the same time, lo and behold, counter to that, I think one day prior, this article was US is developing second military facility near China in case PLA decides to just knock out a US airbase at Guam. Because you know, that sounds pretty peaceful. Again, that's the whole war economy, and there's no lack of money to produce these weapons of war globally in every single country. That is the most profitable way. It crushes cryptocurrency. Absolutely crushes it. You want mad gains? Go into the military industrial complex. I don't think it would be that easy, mind you. But yeah, not everyone's going to be telling you that. So back to cryptocurrency. All right, so we got our context, right? We got freedoms being taken away. We've got countries going to go into recession. We've got the third world starving. We've got the first world starving, potentially, like compared to what it was. And we've got the third world starving and dying. So the third world is dying. Look it up. And of course, large food producers, like Ukraine with their large grain supply or wheat supply to the world, whatever it is. Of course, that just happens to be one of the largest exporters to, you know, third world countries. Yay! Yay! I love bringing good news. I love it. It's almost sick. It really is. Now, back to cryptocurrency, right? Because I'm assuming if you're watching this, you don't live in the third world, you're not starving. I'm assuming you don't live in China. Possibly Chinese people may be watching this, but they'll be watching it via translation to see what's going on in the world. So, hey, hello. But yeah, back to cryptocurrency. We've got the good news, you know. I don't know if anyone remembers Mt. Gox. You know, anyone remember that? I remember looking at it. Not sure if I made an account or not. Seeing it was like 2000 and whatever it was. And I'm like, what is this shit? And it had like the massive long address. And then the hurdle for me was transferring US dollar in. Because at that time I was like, oh my god. I was like looking at equities mainly and rare earth minerals at the time. And basically I saw that massive long address and it's like, here's your address, what it will be. Make sure you don't lose this. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Looking back, wish I had have. Looking back, this is what the end result would have been. But yeah. So if everyone in cryptocurrency remembers this, right? Then they will remember the Celsius. They will remember the Terra Luna, TUSD, etc. That's the equivalent of this Mt. Gox scenario, I would say. Because history doesn't repeat, it rhymes, you know? So Mt. Gox, an exchange, doing what it did, versus an entire cryptocurrency that was set up incorrectly with, I guess you'd call it exploits or whatever happened, nefarious bad actors possibly, like within its own ecosystem, reportedly. You have other exchanges going into liquidation, not releasing funds. Celsius reportedly still is not releasing their funds. I would imagine other exchanges are starting to feel the pinch on this because they're going to make their money too. And how are they making their money if cryptocurrency is being crushed? No one's got any more money. All the big investors got pulled in near the top. Richard Hart called the top. Who else is going to buy after the world's richest person buys? Nation states bought. Their holdings are down. Everyone in this space is going to be struggling, just as Richard Hart foresaw, to find yield. So I thought, let's have a little experiment. Now, I showed what may happen with HEX if we all decide to not dump their living life out of HEX before Pulse mind you, and PulseX and the fork of HEX. This is what a potential future you're looking at here. These rates here, which is ironically enough blocked by the T-share. Doesn't matter about the yield, but this will be, the rate. Okay, a rough rate, assuming no increase in price, nothing, zero. There is the possibility it goes down. Everyone keeps crapping on that 1 cent HEX is coming. Some people say sub penny. I hope not. If anyone in this product from the beginning, saw the mad gains, saw it pull back, saw the dumping, the constant dumping, I don't think anyone would like to see that. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe there's larger games being played where people were trying to drive down the price to increase the amount of HEX they can get, because in the future it'll be worth more. I mean, that is quite possibly a game being played. I don't know. If that is the game being played by someone, I don't know, then that's insane. But I guess that's in the game. Dips are in the game, But do you really want to kill it that far? I don't. I think it's gone far enough, but what do I know? We can see the attempt right now taking place. Let's have a look. So generally what I'm seeing, people are swapping into USD. They might be moving it between wallets. This one's not as clear, like not straightforward. We'll have a look at this one. So that one sold 315,000 HEX even for about 10,000 US dollars, and they hold about that much in USDC and that much in HEX. Each to their own. Maybe they foresee predicting a lower price. Hopefully they think, I can buy back in. When I buy back in, will I push the price up higher? Or will, after I've exhausted all my dry powder, will it not overtake the existing price, and will I end up in a net positive position? I mean, that's just things to consider. Back to the analysis. Assuming price stays stable, does not go lower than this, we have other platforms, and like this one. This, I believe, is Exodus Wallet. I had one back in the day, but I lost the keys for it, so I'm like, whatever, throw away. It had, from memory, apps within inside of it, for lack of a better term, that allows you to transfer like various cryptocurrencies to it and produce yield. So I thought, okay, the ontology 22%, not including, this is not including other farming adventures you could go off to, like Pancake Swap and shit like that. There's other places out there for yield, potentially. Question is whether or not they'll have the growth behind it. So you got Algorand 10%, Cosmos 17. So yeah, right there's 3 that are potentially better than the APY for like 1 year. Just in a particular wallet, and I'm pretty sure there's other wallets that have similar setups. Not bad, considering I think you hold on to your keys, you retain your keys, it's all within the wallet. I'm not sure if the function can be broken. again, this is my lack of understanding. You'd have to research that for yourself. I'm more well versed within Hex, and I would have stronger trust because it's trustless. Like you can see the T-share producing itself within Hex. So within these times, you have uncertainty, lower prices, cryptocurrencies across the board are being crushed. You're searching for yield. This yield might be in the form of various other projects. Hex being one of them. It literally produces itself. The T-share aspect of it is fascinating. You might want to research that because that in itself is unique versus these other cryptocurrencies, I guess, within this wallet. There is also things like BlockFi. I've had a little chuckle. It's like 10k and you get like 6.9% or something. Excuse me. But yeah, that's another avenue. This is not open to the United States for some reason, and personally, I would feel uneasy to use a particular platform like this in a time where things are being crushed. Now, things other than Mt. Gox, other than Terra Luna, other than Celsius, we have reports that Three Arrows Capital is facing liquidations. This was yesterday. Basically saying they reported from BlockFi. So BlockFi liquidated Three Arrows Capital report. Again, we can look into this further. We can see the trend where cryptocurrency is being crushed. We can see the trend where exchanges are being crushed. We can see the trend where it's going to be a struggle to find yield. We can see a trend where different business structures are being stress tested and failing. Celsius being a case in point for that, reportedly. So my faith in products, other companies, see, I'm not well over BlockFi, not sure how they function, but after seeing what happens, I would much prefer to be holding on to my own keys. Hex is the best example of that. I'm convinced. With the T-share structure, with the upcoming Pulse chain fork of Ethereum, with the DEX, PulseX that will be on Pulse chain, those two things will probably allow for Hex to perform better price-wise. I believe that if people are going to bridge over, say, Ethereum Hex into Pulse Hex, then that may be a move once the bridge is open. The other move could be if you hold your Ethereum version of Hex and there's no need to bridge it over to the Pulse side, then you don't have to pay any fees to transfer it over. It's literally dropped over. So if you had a really high amount of Hex, you might find that beneficial, depending on what you'd want to do on the side of Pulse and the side of Hex. I'm not sure if there's going to be pools over on Uniswap as well as on the Pulse chain side. It's going to be absolutely insane, I think. That is about it, because the more you analyze that in a time where people are hurting, in a time where people are struggling to find yield, any form of gains, again, you could go back and get, say, 20% or something, whatever it was. Are you going to get the mad gains that Hex may provide? Are you going to be able to stake? Are you going to be able to have a mechanism to stake to produce more of it, and that mechanism over time becomes more and more scarce? Plus, when there's low liquidity, plus when the price is at or near the bottom, it's a very hard sell to me not to hold your hex, not to invest in hex. I think what's going to happen is hex is before its time, and although it's made lots of money for people, over the long term, there will be more people onboarded. Definitely through the airdrop. I think they will obviously have free coins in their wallet. Maybe it's in a time of absolute pain. They'll see free money and be like, oh wow, that's really cool. What's this shit? The dump. When they dump, they might realize, wow, that was pretty efficient at dumping. I might, be able to use this to trade, depending on how big their bags are. Maybe they provide some liquidity over in the pools, the single-sided staking, if that's available, depending on whatever's listed on there. Who knows? There's some amazing things I can foresee in the works. What it is exactly is not clear, but I think we all could safely say that once there is updates, once the date is released for Pulse Chain, the price of Hex is probably going to go up just a little bit. When it does, it presents opportunity. It allows you to cash out, in essence. It allows you to, what else? Gives you mad gains from the amount that you had bought previously. It allows you to stake it further. It allows you to, I'd say mostly though, have mad gains. Simple as that. So you have people dumping now. Okay, dump now, that's cool, but you might miss out on a higher price later on, that's all. That is very close to venting what's on my mind. I love that t-shirt animation. Whoever made that is awesome. Sorry, I had to borrow that, chuck it in video. Could just watch it all day. Printing out t-shirts. Overall though, Hex is not doing too bad considering the rest of the market is in near maximum pain. Let's have a quick look, Bitcoin, 20k. Could pull back another, 50% from here, hit that 10k. ETH, not sure where that's gone, could be going down too. I guess that is the logical argument. If ETH gets crushed, if Bitcoin gets crushed further, then that's going to put downward pressure on Hex. But what if it doesn't? And the small little buyers, paired with people not dumping in this time too much, because obviously some people, it might just be they're unlucky, they have stakes coming out right at the bottom and they plan on skimming that interest, and the interest is just worth fuck all. That's just the game. But if the amount being sold is not enormous and people keep placing in their limit orders, the amount keeps just ticking up slowly, holding. What could Hex do when everything else is being crushed? And then, if it did get announced near a massive bottom of Bitcoin or Ethereum, before or after, who knows? Tomorrow, who knows? It would probably propel the price up. All those who sold, sitting on dry powder like USD, for example, maybe they all pile in on top of each other, causing that effect, the massive pump. Not including whatever entity it was that had all the sacrifice balances, whatever plans there are for that, or that might just say that they may just sit there indefinitely, like Satoshi's coins. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm surprised there's not more dumping going on. The biggest dump I saw lately was that $1 million one. Since then, not too much. I question the dumpers. What's their motive? What's their intentions? It'd be funny if exchanges had their exchanges had bought into Hex and were making money off of it. Who knows? That crypto world is something to think about. It is something indeed. Oh yeah, and gas fees, solo, but still not good enough. Still crap. Pulse chain will fix that. You wait and see. We're gonna remember this time, people. We're gonna look back and be like, do you remember Hex before Pulse chain was out? Do you remember a time before when Pulse chain didn't exist? Do you remember looking at Nomics and not seeing Pulse chain and PulseX and Hex and eHex listed on coin ranking websites? It's do you remember when you could get like a T-share for $753? You could buy one of these guys right here, but when you end stake it though, you remember that goes. You give up the rights to that and you have to get another one. What will the price be in the future? I don't know. Or you could, go into like BlockFi, Exodus and buy some fucking other stuff and hope that it produces as well as a T-share can. But let's have a look what happened to Mt. Gox. What happened to Celsius? What happened to Terra Luna? What's reportedly happening to 3 Arrows? It's all a big game, people. Nothing works the way you think it works. I think if you're very skeptical of Hex and you think it's a scam, I would urge you to go back, watch lots of video content from Richard Heart himself. I would say is probably the best outlet first. Then I would probably suggest maybe reading the Hex website, understanding, maybe doing a little bit of research. You have a play with X amount of Hex and stake it. See if it does what it says it will do. Then maybe understand the T-shares, how they function, how they may perform over time. Check out the hexvision.com, check out when the stakes are ending. Maybe start to think, maybe I should set up a staking ladder, and have my interest coming out in various years. And then maybe start filling the gaps over time. It's not like a get rich quick scheme. It's not a, what's it called? It's not 100% guaranteed. Nothing is in this world. But maybe you do that. Maybe you do it before the release of Pulse Chain. Maybe you might see some gains. Maybe you might take some profits. Maybe you might feed it back into the system and it grows more profits. Or maybe you go off and muck around and do something else with that money. We are what we create. And with this technology released into the world, it's beneficial for mankind. Because had this not been released in this time, what would we all be doing right now? Think about it. Okay, might get some yield. Would there be any Pulse Chain coming? Would there be any PulseX coming? Would there be anything positive in the world to look for? Oh my god. Oh, I can just imagine it now. Imagine you're like chilling and the live stream pops up. Boom. Richard Heart's going live soon. What's this shit? Bear market's in, everything's crushed everywhere. Everything's just fucked. And then the announcement of Pulse Chain, and then people start flipping their stables into Hex. Maybe because maybe they want the copy, or maybe they're going to sit back and wait. Maybe they're going to dump the crap out of Hex because they think that's the best move. Who knows? Who knows? All right, that's enough. I've just crapped on about nothing. Yeah, check out T-Shares, people. You gotta check out T-Shares.